At 10:10 p.m. on July 7th, Archangel Michael orders you to open this right now. He will send you a divine sign about your new house. Don't ignore it like you always do, or you'll miss the message you've been waiting for. Open quickly. At precisely 10:10 p.m. on July 7th, something divine stirred the air. A sacred time had been chosen, not randomly, but with intention forged in heaven's order. Archangel Michael, heaven's most fierce protector and God's appointed warrior, stood over your life, holding a scroll sealed with light. He had waited for this moment to pierce the veil between realms, to whisper a command that would not sound like thunder, but would shake the earth of your soul. A message. It concerned your new house, not just bricks and walls, but the sanctuary that your destiny has been waiting to unlock. You felt it lately, haven't you? The tension rising within you like a wave pressing against a dam. The dream of a new place, a sacred space that calls to your spirit with whispers of rest, restoration, and refuge. You've passed listings, scrolled websites, stared at floor plans, but still, something held you back. It wasn't fear. It wasn't budget. It was timing. Divine timing. And now Michael has declared the moment has come. The veil is thin. The message is near. If you miss it now, you may wait another full cycle, not of time, but of trials. This message is more than a prophecy. It is an invitation. Not just to see the sign, but to act on it. This sign is unlike any other. It will not scream. It will not repeat. It is precise, silent, sacred. The number 7 echoes through the chambers of this night. July 7th. And 10. Double gates. Double spiritual doors. A shift is being aligned in your name, but Michael will not wait beyond this alignment. Heaven cannot delay because your soul has been lingering. Open this now, and Michael will reveal what your future home already knows. You've been chosen to dwell in a place of prophetic purpose. Type I am chosen to get the blessing 1010. This home, this sacred space, is not just a structure of shelter. It's where your future self will be born, where your peace will grow roots, where your children's laughter will echo across unseen realms, where angels will walk through your hallway and not need to announce themselves because they'll feel welcome. Archangel Michael wants you to stop thinking like the old version of yourself, the one who delays, doubts, dismisses. That version cannot enter this new egress. Your name is being written into a deed, spiritually and physically, but it can still be erased if you ignore what's arriving. Tonight, heaven will use an ordinary object to deliver an extraordinary confirmation. It may come through a dream, a phone call, an doorbell, a scent, a house number, an inner tug you cannot explain. But one thing is absolute. The message will be loud only to your soul. You won't be able to explain it, but you will feel it. It will pull you forward like gravity, but only if you let it. Michael is here. The time is now. You've stood in many rooms before. Rented apartments, inherited memories, spaces shaped by others' design. But none of them ever whispered your name. None of them ever recognized your presence and exhaled peace as soon as you crossed the threshold. This house, the one Archangel Michael is revealing, is not just a new address. It's the fulfillment of a sacred waiting. It has been sealed until you were ready. And though you believed you were searching for a house, the truth is, the house was waiting for you to awaken. On July 7th, at 10:10 p.m., the energy of your timeline shifts from delay to destiny. Michael has not only sounded the alarm, he has opened a door that no human hand can close. Do you feel that spiritual urgency in your chest? that pull in your belly that keeps you restless, pacing, dreaming at odd hours. That is not anxiety. That is the soul remembering its assignment. Somewhere not far from you, a structure hath been infused with divine frequencies. The foundation has absorbed prayers you haven't even spoken yet. It is as if God went ahead of you and painted the walls with your future joy. But spiritual homes require spiritual obedience. The reason you haven't found this place yet is because you've been thinking with logic, not revelation. Michael doesn't move through real estate listings. He moves through alignment. This house will come to you not through effort, but by divine magnetism. Your only task is to say yes when it shows up, even if it makes no sense. Even if it's not what you expected. Even if others say you're not ready. Heaven doesn't ask for permission from people when it opens a portal for you. It just needs your obedience. Type I am open to receive the blessing 7722. The moment you surrender the how, you create space for the now. And this moment, this sacred appointment, has your name carved into it. Archangel Michael has stood guard over this opportunity because many forces tried to delay you from it. Distraction disguised as delay. Confusion disguised as caution. But Michael is not timid. When he speaks, realms shift. And tonight, he has declared that your hesitation ends. The blessing tied to your new house is not just shelter, it's protection, acceleration, and multiplication. This home will be a temple of restoration, the place where tears will be turned into oil, where late night cries become morning clarity, where divine ideas will pour into your mind like thunderclouds of creativity. This is the place where contracts will be signed, visions will be born, healing will begin. But you must remember, you do not choose the house. The house chooses you, because heaven already chose it first. You are not entering a structure, you are entering a spiritual assignment. Your new home is not just a gift, it is a gate. Type I am chosen for overflow to get blessing 8801. Archangel Michael is showing you flashes. A number on a license plate. A recurring address in a dream. The name of a street that keeps repeating. These are not coincidences. They are coded confirmations. Your spirit has already seen the house. Now your natural eyes must catch up. On July 7th, the seal on that message is lifted. You may find yourself standing in front of it without realizing why you turned that way. You might overhear someone talking about a move or see a property you weren't searching for. Heaven's delivery system rarely makes announcements. It just places the package and waits to see if you'll open it. And when you do, when you step inside that place, a stillness will settle on you like a weighted blanket of divine presence. Every fear will fall silent. Every doubt will lose its voice. You won't need to ask anyone if it's right. You'll know. Because your soul has lived there before. Because the air will recognize your lungs. Because Michael has already walked those floors in your name. And when you sign the papers, you won't just be closing a deal, you'll be sealing a destiny. Before this divine moment could arrive, there were delays. Not just in time, but in alignment. Archangel Michael didn't withhold the house from you. He protected it. He saw what you couldn't. The spiritual obstructions clouding your discernment. There were seasons when you would have entered the right house with the wrong mindset. And that's more dangerous than not entering at all. Because a house entered prematurely becomes a prison of regret. Heaven needed to clear the path before placing the promise in your hands. You may recall times when opportunities came and vanished. Doors opened, only to slam shut before you could walk through them. Homes you loved slipped away without explanation. That was not punishment, it was cultivation. There were invisible forces assigned to contaminate your place of peace. The enemy doesn't fear you moving house. He fears you moving into alignment. That's why confusion kept circling your decisions. But Michael stood at the gates, sword drawn, intercepting every counterfeit before it reached your spirit. Now that July 7th has arrived and 10:10 approaches, Michael has declared the battlefield cleared. No more spiritual sabotage. No more hidden delays. No more emotional fog. The moment has been purified. The next place you walk into is not just a house, it's a holy ground. But you must walk boldly. You must silence every voice that suggests you're not ready. Read that again. You are not behind. You are right on divine time. And the reason this feels unfamiliar is because it is not a repeat. It is a revelation. Type I am aligned to get blessing 7733. You've done the inner work required to recognize this gift. The old version of you would have rationalized the opportunity into stillness. You would have asked too many questions, consulted too many people, waited too long for signs that were already delivered. But this new version of you, the one emerging under Michael's command, this version moves with certainty when heaven speaks. This version is not bound by the opinions of the earth, but is propelled by the promises of the Spirit. That's why this door cannot be missed. You're no longer in a guessing season. You're in a gathering season. Archangel Michael is still whispering, act now. Not with haste, but with holy boldness. You will not fumble this confirmation if you lean into faith. It may look unconventional. The address might surprise you. A location might confuse you. But that's what makes it divine. It bypasses your understanding and settles into your spirit. Don't scroll past it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't delay. Because this time, the house you enter will not require you to shrink. It will require you to rise. If this word has ignited something in your spirit and stirred fresh courage within you, we encourage you to respond with a super thanks of $20. Your support enables us to continue releasing prophetic words that bring clarity, healing, and hope to those moving from betrayal into breakthrough. You can also donate through PayPal by clicking the support here link in the video description. Every seed sown strengthens our ability to speak life and truth into the lives of others. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of spirit-led wisdom, prophetic direction, and divine encouragement tailored to your season of transformation. Type I am rising to receive to get blessing 6544. And yes, there is still one thing you must surrender: the fear of permanence. Somewhere deep within, a voice still says, what if it doesn't last? What if it's taken from me again? That's the scar from your past battles. But Michael reminds you, this is a kept promise, not a borrowed one. What is being released into your hands now is not a test. It is a trust. Heaven has watched you endure in silence, give while lacking, believe when abandoned. You have passed the test of patience. Now comes the reward of permanence. This new home will not be shaken. It will not be snatched. It will not come with strings attached. It has been marked by Michael's sword and sealed with heaven's oil. When you step inside, you will know it's yours, because peace will no longer visit occasionally. It will live there. And so will you. Not renting space in someone else's atmosphere, not adjusting to other people's expectations, but finally resting fully in what was always yours. The moment your foot crosses the threshold of that sacred space, something will shift, not around you, but within you. This won't feel like walking into a house. It will feel like stepping into prophecy. The atmosphere will carry a silence that doesn't feel empty but holy. Every creak of the floor, every beam in the ceiling, every echo off the walls will sound like confirmation. You will realize it wasn't just a place you were waiting for. It was an energy, a frequency, a promise finally materialized in wood and stone. You won't decorate this house with trends. You'll fill it with truth. It will be the place where your soul exhales, where your spirit rises without resistance. Do not take lightly what Archangel Michael is delivering into your life. It is not normal. This is not about real estate. It is about realignment. Heaven is relocating your identity, not just your body. You are being moved to where your prayers can gain momentum, where your voice won't echo back in doubt, but roar forward with authority. This house is the altar that your legacy has been waiting for. That's why everything feels so heightened now. Why the days leading up to July 7th have felt like time speeding up and slowing down all at once. You sensed it in your sleep, in conversations, in signs that appear meaningless to others but strike your spirit like lightning. The recurring numbers, the dreams, the random mentions of neighborhoods or addresses. Michael isn't just sending you signs, he's surrounding you with them. Because the house is not just near, it's ready. And now, so are you. Type I am ready to get the blessing 7878. This will be more than a move. It will be a graduation. You are leaving behind not just a location, but a limitation. The walls you once lived within were too small for what God is doing next. You outgrew your environment, even if you didn't fully realize it. The arguments, the restlessness, the disconnection you felt in your old space weren't signs of failure. They were signs of expansion. You were never meant to stay there long. Heaven has had something greater reserved for you. Not because you demanded it, but because you endured. And hear this clearly, not everyone can come with you. The new house will come with new boundaries. You are not just packing boxes, you are packing discernment. The house will hold only with the lines. Don't invite doubt into a place where destiny dwells. Don't bring people who mocked your faith into rooms meant to carry your future. Michael has cleared the space for you, not for everyone who watched your struggle but never believed in your rise. This next chapter will not be public. It will be protected. Type I am protected and chosen to get blessing 7997. Inside this house, the heavens will open. Prayers you forgot you prayed will suddenly unfold. Visions you thought had expired will revive themselves in living color. You will dream again, not just while sleeping but while awake. The light in the hallway will feel different. Even your breath will change. The house will feel like it breathes with you because it does. It hath been waiting to host the version of you that finally believes they're worthy of the promise. You are not an intruder in this blessing. You are its rightful heir. Archangel Michael has already walked the perimeter. Angels have already anointed the walls. A covenant has already been signed in the spirit. What's left is your obedience, not your analysis, not your perfection. Just your yes. That's why this message came with urgency. Because heaven cannot force you through the door, it can only open it. The rest is up to your willingness to rise when called. And now, the call is sounding louder than ever. Before this house ever existed in physical form, it was already assigned to you in the spirit. The deed was written not with ink but with intention. Archangel Michael held the coordinates in his scroll long before your prayers reached your lips. You thought you were discovering it now, but heaven has had it locked in your timeline for years. What you're stepping into is not new, it's finally visible. That's the mystery of divine delay. It's not denial, it's development. The house was waiting for your spirit to match its frequency. Think back on all the times you all settled. The homes you almost bought, the rentals that nearly lured you, the places that looked perfect on paper but left you restless in your spirit. Those were not accidents. Michael blocked them. Not because he wanted you to live in lack, but because he refused to let you live beneath your assignment. You've outgrown convenience. You've outgrown temporary. The atmosphere you're about to enter was prepared for permanence. It will not crumble under pressure. It will not whisper instability. It will root you in a way nothing else has. And once you enter, everything will move faster. Your mind will sharpen. Opportunities will call without invitation. Favor will seem unfair, but it won't be. It will be evidence that you've entered the right location in the spirit realm. You see, some houses aren't just about shelter. They are portals. They accelerate destiny because they've been prepped by the divine. That's why Michael was so specific about the timing. July 7th and 10 p.m. The double numbers are no accident. They are double doors swinging open in your direction. Type I'm aligned with acceleration to get blessing 6610. Inside this house, you won't just live, you will launch. Your business idea will gain traction. Your voice will reach places it's never reached. Your peace will deepen to levels you didn't know existed. The stress that followed you from house to house will drop at the door, unable to cross the threshold. Why? Because this is not just a house. It's holy ground. You'll feel it in your bones. The quiet won't be empty. It'll be filled with presence. Your sleep will return. Your clarity will multiply. Your prayers will echo differently. It's not a coincidence. It's a covenant. Do not be surprised if you find feathers, lights flickering, or sudden stillness when you enter. These are not oddity. They are signals that angels are welcoming you. Archangel Michael has placed a spiritual perimeter around this place. Not everyone will feel it. Not everyone will see what you see. But you will know. Because the very air will confirm. You're home. Not the kind of home you explain, but the kind that explains you. The kind you were always meant to return to. Type I'm home in the spirit to get blessing 7755. You may even feel a wave of grief. That's normal. Because stepping into the promise also reminds you of the years you lived without it. But Michael says this: your tears are not sadness. They are release. Let them fall. They are clearing the past from your lungs so you can breathe the future fully. Let go of the trauma of transition. Let go of the shame of delay. You did not miss your moment. Your moment has waited for you. And now, as you walk each room, you will feel restoration meeting you at every turn. Every corner will carry a message. One room may stir creativity. Another might feel like sanctuary. You will find your prayer spot without even thinking. Children will feel safe there. Visitors will sleep without torment. This house has been anointed to host breakthrough. And now that Michael has given the order, nothing can stop what's coming. No man, no memory, no mistake. What heaven releases, no force of darkness can delay. And you, beloved, are no longer wandering. You've arrived. As you begin to move through each room, something unexplainable will happen. The walls will speak, not in words but in knowing. They'll hold a warmth that feels like a welcome, even though you've never been there before. You'll find yourself pausing in certain corners without understanding why, only to later realize those were places where your future would be shaped. This is what Archangel Michael meant when he said the house has been waiting. It didn't just wait for your arrival. It remembered your spirit before your body ever stepped inside. There will be a moment, Maybe when you place your hand on a windowsill or kneel to check a cabinet, when you feel the most overwhelming sense of belonging. It will feel like déjà vu, but it's not. It's memory. Memory from the spirit realm. Because this home was seen, touched, and consecrated in the heavenlies before it was ever framed by human hands. And as Michael watches from above, he is commanding every spiritual residue from past occupants to lift. Only your energy, your peace, your future, your anointing will remain in this space from now on. And yes, even the floorboards will hold prophecy. Every step you take will be like reactivating a divine blueprint. You may not remember walking it before, but heaven does. You did in dreams. You did in visions. You did in prayers whispered when you were half awake. Michael heard those. He tracked every syllable. And now he's watching them manifest into reality. You won't just walk, you'll glide. You won't just settle, you'll soar. The floor you're walking on is not ground. It's holy alignment. I am stepping into alignment to get blessing 8321. This house will demand more from you, not because it is heavy, but because it is high. You will rise to match its atmosphere. There will be no room for self-doubt here. The ceilings will stretch your vision. The windows will teach your eyes how to see hope again. The lighting will mirror the glory that's been buried in you for far too long. This house was built to hold your becoming. It is not a shelter for survival. It is a container for calling. You are not meant to just rest here. You are meant to reign here. And as you begin to unpack, take your time. Not just with your boxes, but with your soul. Let your spirit feel safe before your furniture is even placed. Before you fill the closets or mount the frames, declare aloud, this house belongs to heaven first. Because when you acknowledge God as the ultimate landlord, angels remain on the lease. And Archangel Michael will not just deliver you here, he will stay. He will patrol the perimeter. He will ward on your behalf, especially in your sleep. Rest won't be a struggle here, it will be a command. I declare peace over this house to get blessing 6844. There is a reason you are being called to this place now. It's not just about you, it's about legacy. The house will outlive the season. What you birth here, whether it's a family, a ministry, a movement, or a mindset, will echo long after you're gone. That's why Michael is involved. Because your assignment needs ground to grow. And this house is fertile. Not just for things, but for truth. It will bear fruit in silence. It will multiply what you thought had died. And it will not just protect your future, it will prophesy to it. So if you feel overwhelmed, good. If your hands tremble when you hold the keys, let them. That's not fear, it's reverence. You are not just entering a house, you are entering a covenant. And when your name is written into this story, so are your breakthroughs, your healings, your joys, your future children's laughter, your partner's comfort, your midnight tears turned into morning worship. This is more than shelter. This is sacred ground. This is home. When you wake up for the first time in this house, something will feel different before you even open your eyes. The light filtering through the window won't just warm your skin. It will charge your spirit. The air will carry an ease that feels ancient, like it came from a place that predates fear. This is the reward of alignment. Archangel Michael didn't just bring you to a new location. He brought you into an atmosphere where heaven breathes with you. You are no longer just protected. You are anchored. This anointing will not be a passing experience. It will linger. It will stick to the furniture, wrap around the curtains, saturate the rugs, even rest on your dishes. You'll notice it when people enter. Some will feel peace they can't explain. Others will feel uncomfortable and leave quickly. That's because this house is now consecrated. It has been claimed by God's purposes. It's not just a home. It's an altar, a sanctuary, a spiritual engine room where clarity, comfort, and calling are activated with every breath. Don't be surprised if you begin to dream differently here. Your dreams will become clearer, louder, more direct. You'll hear instructions. You'll receive names, numbers, images. Michael has assigned a spiritual frequency to this place that enhances divine communication. The house itself is now a transmitter for revelation. Pay attention. Write everything down. Nothing will be random anymore. Not the time you wake up. Not the birds you hear. Not the flicker in the hallway light. It's all connected. You are now living inside the message. Type I dwell in revelation to get the blessing 9222. Even your body will respond. Aches that lingered in the old space will begin to fade. The stress you carried in your shoulders will release. Your heart rate will soften. That's because your nervous system is responding to safety it hasn't known in years. The house isn't just quiet. It's healing. It's correcting patterns of panic. It's reprogramming your mind to recognize peace without suspicion. You won't feel the need to over-explain, to brace for attack, or to scan for disappointment. The war zone in your mind will begin to disarm itself. Because Michael has declared, this ground is safe. You'll start to hear yourself speak differently. Not just in what you say, but in how you say it. Your tone will carry more authority. Your words will land heavier. Even your silence will feel full. This is what happens when your environment honors your assignment. You're not trying to be understood. You're not shrinking to survive. You're finally expanding. And it will show. People will notice. Doors will open. Ideas will multiply. This house is not just your hiding place. It's your launchpad. If this word has ignited something in your spirit and stirred fresh courage within you, we encourage you to respond with a super thanks of $20. Your support enables us to continue releasing prophetic words that bring clarity, healing, and hope to those moving from betrayal into breakthrough. You can also donate through PayPal by clicking the support here link in the video description. Every seed sown strengthens our ability to speak life and truth into the lives of others. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of spirit-led wisdom, prophetic direction, and divine encouragement tailored to your season of transformation. Type I am expanding in peace to get blessing 6481. But be mindful, the presence that fills this house must be honored. Don't let gossip enter through the front door. Don't let fear speak over your rooms. Don't allow bitterness to set its roots in your walls. This place responds to faith, not frustration. It's sensitive to energy because it's been built on obedience. Treat it like holy ground. Clean it with intention. Play worship through its halls. Speak declarations aloud. Walk its floors and pray in tongues if led. Not because the house needs it, but because you do. You're not just living here. You're stewarding something divine. Michael did not fight for this territory just for you to treat it casually. You waged war in the spirit to hand you a sanctuary, not a space for compromise. So protect it. Guard its peace. Bless its entrance and exit. Because what happens inside this house will shape what you do outside it. Every strategy, every conversation, every moment of rest, it all begins here. And now, your home has become a partner in your destiny. There are houses that hold people, and then there are houses that hold purpose. What Archangel Michael has led you into is not temporary shelter, but generational infrastructure. This home isn't just for your comfort, it's for your contribution. You won't just make memories here. You'll plant movements, seed futures, and write legacies into the very grain of the floorboards. The air in this house is alive with expectancy. Heaven is watching closely, because what begins here won't end with you. It will multiply beyond what you could ever measure. There will be whispers in the spirit that say, bless the work here, guard the birth here, prophecy over every room. These are not strange thoughts. They are divine nudges. Heaven is prompting you to not just occupy this house, but to activate it. Start in the room that feels the warmest, the one that glows even in the dark. That is the womb of this home. You'll feel it. It might be a study, a corner in the kitchen, a hallway. That spot is magnetic because it has been chosen for birthing your next dimension. Speak life there. Sing there. Write there. Cry there. Something sacred is assigned to this space. Children who are born in this house will carry unusual favor. Guests who sleep here will dream vividly. Friends who visit will leave more healed than when they arrived. And you will never be the same. Your ideas will stretch. Your vision will sharpen. Your heart will soften. Not because of the structure, but because of the spirit. This house is wrapped in the residue of divine warfare and angelic protection. Michael cleared this ground. You are walking where prayers have already paved the way. Type I activate legacy to get blessing 9090. Here's a mantle in the atmosphere, one you didn't know you qualified for. But heaven knows. And that's why this house found you. You didn't stumble upon it. You were led. Even the detours that brought you here were necessary. They carved your character. They strengthened your discernment. They built the humility required to carry what's next. Michael was watching even when you felt ignored. And now he's standing at your doorstep with the final key, not just for entry, but for elevation. Soon people will ask you, how did you find this place? And you'll smile. Not because you have a logical answer, but because you know the truth. It found you. Or better yet, it waited for you. And now, every nail, every wall, every doorpost carries your name in the spirit. This home will respond to your presence because it was built to host your calling. And what you birth here will be so deeply rooted, storms will come and go, but nothing planted will be uprooted. Type I build in permanence to get blessing 7112. And one day, long from now, when you pass by this house, or perhaps pass it on, it will still carry your fingerprints. Not the ones that fade with time, but the ones left in the spirit. This house will remember you. The angels assigned to this house will carry your legacy like a scroll. Those who come after you will walk into grace they didn't earn, because you stewarded it with obedience. You paid the price of trust. You believed when it didn't make sense. You said yes when everyone else said wait. And now, your descendants will walk in doors they never had to knock on. It's the power of this house. It is not just an address. It is a generational altar. And your name is on it. Not just as owner, not just as resident, but as builder of destiny. You thought you were moving into a structure, but heaven knew you were stepping into a statement, a declaration to the world that alignment with God doesn't end in delay. It ends in destiny fulfilled. Now that the foundation is set and your name is written into this sacred space, you must understand the weight and wonder of what you carry. You are not just living in a divinely prepared home. You are now the architect of atmosphere. Heaven has handed you more than keys. It has handed you a blueprint. You've stepped into a realm where the structure of your obedience will shape the structure of your surroundings. The walls will echo your words. The rooms will stretch according to your faith. What you build here will not only serve you, it will outlast you. Every time you rearrange the furniture, every candle you light, every conversation you hold under this roof becomes part of a spiritual grid. Don't treat anything as mundane. There is no such thing as ordinary here. Even the way you sit in silence becomes a prayer. Even the food you prepare becomes communion. The air has memory now, and Archangel Michael continues to guard its borders, not because danger lingers, but because value does. This home is more than a gift. It's a realm under divine custody. As days turn to weeks, you'll begin to realize something. You've changed. It's not just the space around you that feels new. It's you. You're clearer. You're quieter. You're bolder. That's what happens when you stop striving and start stewarding. Michael didn't fight to get you here so you could relax into apathy. He fought so you could reign from authority. And that authority isn't loud. It doesn't need to prove itself. It simply knows when to speak, when to wait, when to declare, and when to fall silent and let the walls worship on your behalf. Type Irene with wisdom to get blessing 8188. Begin establishing spiritual routines in this house. Set times for prayer. Identify places for praise. Walk the halls and bless them often. Not because something is wrong, but because you are fortifying the gates. The house is secure, but your consistency makes it unshakable. Just as a gardener tends the soil of a blooming field, you must tend the atmosphere of this space. Anoint your doorways. Speak over your rooms. Guard what enters through media, through people, through energy. The home you were given in the spirit must now be governed in the natural. Don't be surprised if you begin to feel a new level of discernment. What once confused you will now be clear. Conversations that drained you will lose their power. You will know who is meant to cross this threshold and who is not. You won't even need reasons. You'll simply feel it in your chest. That's not judgment. That's stewardship. This house is a vault of purpose. Michael has stationed angels at its corners, not to keep people out, but to keep your purpose intact. Not every visitor is a vessel. Some are distractions dressed in politeness. Type I guard my gates with grace to get blessing 7284. And oh, the revelations that will come in stillness. You'll start to hear God's voice more often, not because He speaks louder here, but because you finally quieted enough to listen. The noise of the old season has left. The clutter of old environments has been cleared. Now, the house itself will become a school. You'll learn things here you were never taught. Ideas will download in the shower. Blueprints will be released during breakfast. Strategies will land as you stare out a window. This is the evidence of an inhabited home, inhabited not just by you, but by heaven. This house is now a sanctuary, a studio, a sanctuary, and a scroll. And the beauty of it all, you didn't build it by force. You entered it by faith. You didn't strive for it. You surrendered to it. That's why it fits you. That's why it holds you. That's why every creak in the floor sounds like a lullaby and every breeze through the window feels like the exhale of angels. You're not visiting your destiny anymore. You're living in it. In your former places, silence felt like a threat. It echoed with uncertainty, rang with loneliness, haunted you with the loud reminders of what wasn't working. But here, in this divinely prepared sanctuary, silence will feel different. It won't scream, it will speak. The stillness inside this house will become the language of strategy. Ideas will float through the quiet like whispers from heaven. Divine timing will reveal itself between your thoughts. And you will begin to understand why Michael called you to this space. Because you were finally ready to hear what you couldn't when you were surrounded by noise. Here, you'll no longer react, you'll respond. The house will train your rhythm. You'll rise earlier, not out of obligation, but because the mornings here feel like miracles waiting to be greeted. You'll find yourself speaking slower, listening longer, creating without pressure. And slowly, without even noticing, your entire nervous system will realign to heaven's pace. You've left the land of striving behind. You've entered the land of steady glory. Because peace is not passive, it's powerful. And this house is full of it. Michael knows what most never notice. Your next level didn't require more hustle, it required a holy environment. This house is your proof. Not proof to others, but proof to yourself. That God's timing is trustworthy. That divine alignment is real. That something can find you even when you've stopped looking. You thought you were losing time, but heaven was just preparing a table. And now, this table sits in your kitchen, waiting to feed not just your body, but your vision. Type I feast on divine timing to get blessing 6336. This is where you will write what you were born to write. Record what you were born to say. Build what you were born to launch. Don't look for signs outside anymore. The signs are in you, and the atmosphere around you is charged to pull them out. The chairs will feel like thrones. The countertops like altars. Even the shower will become a place of revelation. There's something about water here. It won't just cleanse you. It will baptize you daily in clarity. The mundane is now miraculous. And if at times you feel unworthy, remember this. You didn't earn this. You inherited it through obedience. Heaven doesn't measure worth the way people do. It doesn't scour zooms, it scans surrender. And you, beloved, surrendered. When others scoffed at your delay, when your faith was questioned, when doubt screamed the loudest, you kept standing. Maybe not perfectly, maybe not boldly, but consistently. And that consistency is why Michael kept fighting. He didn't let the house fall into the wrong hands. He preserved it because he knew you would carry it well. If this word has ignited something in your spirit and stirred fresh courage within you, we encourage you to respond with a super thanks of $20. Your support enables us to continue releasing prophetic words that bring clarity, healing, and hope to those moving from betrayal into breakthrough. You can also donate through PayPal by clicking the support here link in the video description. Every seed sown strengthens our ability to speak life and truth into the lives of others. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of spirit-led wisdom, prophetic direction, and divine encouragement tailored to your season of transformation. Type I carry this well to get blessing 6440, and it will carry you, too. In seasons of exhaustion, this house will refuel you. In moments of confusion, it will calm you. In nights of uncertainty, it will cover you. You'll never look at walls the same again. Because these ones hold you. They bend around your needs. They shift with your seasons. They don't just echo your voice. They protect it. This home is now part of your spiritual armor. And wherever you go from here, you'll carry its frequency with you. Every room you enter will feel different, because you are now different. You're not seeking safety. You are safety. You bring it with you. This is the evidence of divine dwelling. Not loud, not flashy, but deeply permanent. not in a worldly sense, but in a heavenly imprint. The oil that now covers this house will be invisible to the world, but undeniable to the spirit. The doorframe was marked by Michael himself. No thief can break it. No enemy can curse it. No delay can undo it. This house is not just blessed, it is sealed. You may not have realized it yet, but the house you now dwell in has become both a weapon and a witness. It fights for you even when you sleep. The walls, saturated with obedience, now carry the sound of covenant. That means your home will begin warring in the spirit on your behalf, pushing back darkness, silencing confusion, repelling chaos. While others armor themselves with noise, you will armor yourself with stillness. While others panic to be seen, your quiet obedience in the sacred space will make you undeniable. Archangel Michael did not just guard this house to hand you safety. He guarded it to empower you. He knew that once you entered, your discernment would heighten, your gifts would sharpen, and your authority would expand. He knew this space would become your launching pad and your altar. Every decision you make here will echo in the supernatural. You're not just managing a house, you're governing a spiritual command center. The enemy fears what this home will birth, because it's a place where clarity can no longer be confused, and purpose can no longer be delayed. And when the enemy tries to circle back, because he will find your house fenced with fire. The kind of fire not lit by matches but by faith. The fire that comes from consistency, from declarations, from praise. You won't need to raise your voice. You'll raise your atmosphere. An atmosphere wins wars. The moment you remember that, you'll never fight another battle the same way again. Your home won't just host your breakthrough, it will proclaim it. Because it remembers every tear, every prayer, every seed you sowed while waiting for it. Type "My home is my fortress" to get blessings 7,474. Wizards will notice it. Some will say it feels peaceful, others will call it refreshing, and some won't even be able to put it into words. That's because they're not just stepping into a house, they're stepping into a frequency. One that's been carved through divine obedience. Don't be surprised if people weep without knowing why, or if they sleep deeper than ever when they rest here. It's not you. It's the anointing that now coats the very air they're breathing. Be wise about who you allow into this space. Not everyone can carry what's inside these walls. You don't owe access to people simply because they are familiar. Ask the Spirit, every time, are they aligned with this altar? If the answer is no, let your doors remain shut with grace and certainty. Your peace is too sacred to gamble. Your home is not a revolving door. It's a revelation. And Michael is still stationed at its gate. Type "I protect what is sacred" to get blessing 7,123. Now that you're living in this alignment, you'll notice that decisions come faster. They don't need to be forced. You'll find yourself discerning with ease. Contracts, relationships, moves, conversations. The house has recalibrated your inner compass. It's no longer based on fear, it's guided by truth. And that truth now is a home to land in. You've created space for wisdom to live, not visit. And when wisdom lives somewhere, fruit begins to grow. Unexpected favor, divine connections, supernatural provision. You'll walk through seasons others drown in, not because you're better, but because your atmosphere is built for it. And through it all, the house will keep bearing witness. Long after the initial excitement fades, long after the last box is unpacked, it will still whisper the truth into your mornings. It will still catch your tears without judgment. It will still stand when your strength falters. This is what Michael meant when he pressed the urgency into July 7th, 10:10 p.m. He wasn't just moving you. He was rooting you. And now, nothing can pull you out of this place without first contending with heaven. Every house has windows, but not all windows become watchtowers. In this home, the windows are more than design. They are prophetic lenses. You'll find yourself standing in front of them at odd hours, not to admire the scenery, but because your spirit is scanning for what's coming. This house hasn't just aligned your soul, it has sharpened your foresight. Archangel Michael knew you needed to live in a space that didn't just contain you but elevated your vantage point. What you see from here is not small, it's strategic. The light that pours through these panes isn't ordinary either. It reveals what was hidden. It exposes thoughts before they become decisions. You'll notice how the shadows fall, how the light dances differently depending on your posture. It's not poetic, it's prophetic. The architecture of this home mirrors the architecture of your destiny, purposefully angled, intentionally transparent, designed to reveal, never to hide. The clarity you've longed for will often arrive wrapped in golden rays across the floor, and that's where you'll receive instructions that won't make sense to anyone else but will feel undeniable to you. And when you lift your eyes and look outside, don't just see your neighborhood, see your next territory. This house isn't your finish line. It's your foundation. It's the place where God will show you the map of what's next. The open field, the calling beyond your comfort zone, the assignment that stretches you. These will begin as impressions in the light, framed by the window, confirmed in the stillness. You're no longer guessing. You're receiving. Because this house doesn't just give you shelter, it gives you sight. Type "My vision is expanding" to get blessing 7,399. That's why the enemy tried to distract you in your former season. He knew that once your vision returned, your movement would too. He didn't fear your effort, he feared your alignment. But now that you're here, every lie has been silenced. Every delay has lost its grip, and your discernment has sharpened like the blade of truth. You're no longer trying to figure it out. You know, and that knowing is dangerous to every assignment sent to derail you. You'll begin journaling again, not just because you want to, but because the words won't let you rest. You'll pick up old dreams and realize they were never dead, just dormant, waiting for the right environment. This is it. This is the place where even your silence will start speaking again, where your forgotten creativity will tap you on the shoulder, where heaven will reintroduce you to yourself. And it all began the moment you obeyed the nudge to open the message at 10:10 p.m. on July 7th. Type "I remember who I'm" to get blessing 8,800. Let this be your declaration. What I see now is mine to steward. Whether it's vision for your family, clarity in business, healing in relationships, or deeper intimacy with God, it all begins here. The windows of this house will be your first pulpit. Speak into them. Stand before them in prayer. Let the wind that enters carry your praise into the atmosphere. Every whisper of gratitude, every song of surrender, every prophetic word will be met with heaven's agreement. Why? Because Michael is still near. He hasn't left. His sword is still drawn. You're not alone in this. You never were. But now, more than ever, you'll feel the company of angels. You'll sense that you're not just living, you're being watched over. And it's not surveillance, it's celebration. You finally entered the place that was made for your becoming. Not a perfect place, but a prophetic one. And every window, every door, every step you take confirms it. You're not who you used to be. You've grown into the weight of your promise. And now the house you dwell in is finally light enough to carry the future you've been dreaming of. This house will not rush you. It will not pressure you to produce. It will teach you the holy rhythm of dwelling. There's a difference between staying and dwelling. Staying is temporary, is cautious. It waits with its bags packed. Dwelling is different. Dwelling is surrender. It means unpacking not just boxes but beliefs. It means breathing deeply without bracing for disappointment. It means no longer looking over your shoulder wondering when you'll have to leave. This home, the one Michael fought to release into your life, is where you learn how to be fully, freely, finally. And dwelling won't come naturally at first. You've been trained by trauma to prepare for sudden shifts. You've learned to not get too comfortable, to keep contingency plans in your back pocket. But this house, this sacred atmosphere, will retrain your nervous system. It will gently untangle the knots in your soul. The longer you stay, the more you will realize you are not just safe, you are stationed. Heaven didn't move you here so you could glance. It moved you here so you could grow. And growth takes root where peace is allowed to stay. Don't be surprised if your definition of productivity begins to change. You'll realize that not every breakthrough comes from striving. Some breakthroughs come from stillness, from listening, from light falling across a journal page, from washing dishes with worship in the background. You'll begin to sense God's voice in routines that used to feel mundane. The act of folding laundry will become a meditation. The creak of a cabinet door will sound like a rhythm. The smell of morning air will feel like prayer. You'll begin to live prophetically in ways that feel effortless. That's what dwelling does. Type I dwell under divine rhythm to get blessing 6677. And as you begin to truly dwell, new things will find you. Favor will locate your address. Unexpected resources, divine relationships, ideas so big they scare you. Invitations will begin knocking, not because you sought them, but because you finally stopped running. Your stillness will become magnetic. Your home will emit a frequency that heaven responds to. And people will wonder, how is it that things are falling into place for you? The answer: you didn't chase alignment. You stepped into it. And now, everything is responding to the order Michael helped you restore. The longer you stay here, the clearer your priorities will become. This house will strip away the need to impress. It will detox your desire to be validated by broken systems. The approval of others will feel strangely silent, and it won't bother you. You'll begin to see that what you have is not flashy, but it's firm. Not loud, but lasting. And from that grounded place, you will make decisions that carry weight in the spirit realm. Because the ones who dwell in peace don't just survive the chaos, they govern through it. Type I govern from peace to get blessing 6901. And yes, this dwelling will bring healing too. Healing you didn't expect. The kind that isn't dramatic but deep. Emotional wounds you forgot about will begin to close. Thoughts that used to spiral will now dissolve before they finish. Grief that used to grip your chest will soften into quiet understanding. You'll look in the mirror and see less tension in your face. You'll smile without suspicion. You will rest without guilt. Because your body will finally believe what your spirit has known all along. You're safe here. This is what Michael was preparing all along. Not a place for you to perform, but a place for you to become. And becoming takes space. It takes silence. It takes an environment free from the pressure to be anything but aligned. That's what you stepped into. You didn't earn it by doing more. You received it by finally saying yes to less noise, more truth, and total trust. And now, you're dwelling. And every day in this house, the sound of your healing will echo quietly through every room. Look around you one more time. Breathe in the atmosphere that now belongs to you. This home isn't just a residence. It's a revelation. It's the physical evidence that heaven answers in alignment, not in anxiety. It stands as a monument to your obedience, your endurance, and your quiet, unwavering faith. Every wall, every window, every floorboard carries the imprint of your surrender. You didn't just enter a house. You crossed into a covenant. And Archangel Michael, he's still watching, still guarding, still smiling at your arrival. You once wondered if your prayers were hitting a ceiling, but now you live inside the answer. The place you're standing in was created with you in mind before you ever spoke a word. That's how precise heaven is. It doesn't forget. It doesn't delay without purpose. It holds, it preserves, and then it releases. Right on time. July 7th at 10:10 p.m. wasn't just a moment on a clock. It was a spiritual doorway. And you opened it. You said yes. And because of that, the course of your life has shifted. No longer will you pace the floors of temporary spaces wondering when it's your turn. No longer will you hold your breath waiting for things to collapse. You are home. Not just in a house, but in your identity, in your assignment, in your promise. This space will grow with you, evolve with you, celebrate with you. And even in hard seasons, it will not betray you, because it has been anointed, governed, assigned. This is where you rise. This is where you reign. This is where you remain. So speak one final declaration aloud. This is holy ground. I have been placed, not displaced. I am kept, not questioned. I know, and I know. Heaven agrees. Michael agrees. And your spirit has never been more certain. This is just the beginning. And your house is not just the location of your next chapter. It is the launch site of your legacy. If this word has confirmed your spirit and awakened your boldness, consider supporting with a super thanks of $20. Your support allows us to keep releasing prophetic guidance, clarity, and strength for others walking through betrayal into blessing. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating via PayPal using the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And make sure to subscribe to this channel so you never miss a moment of divine instruction, heavenly insight, and spirit-led guidance tailor-made for your breakthrough. Type I dwell in divine permanence to get blessing 7077.